This is the Ford Bronco Raptor. It was recently added in the latest update and now made available through the current event week for 20 points. In terms of the actual car, it's basically the Ford Bronco that's already in the game, but with 4 doors and maybe better performance. I have to admit, I do like this interior. I like the orange sort of trim, or I guess stitching. But yeah, it's basically the Ford Bronco that's already in the game, but with 4 doors, so it's longer. I probably should point out this is pre-recorded, so yeah. Anyway, in terms of actual upgrades, you're not going to get the same as sort of like a supercar or something like that, because it's the off-road vehicle and they don't tend to do much for off-road vehicles in regards to actual, like, well, you do get stuff, but you won't be able to put like drift suspension on it, and I don't know if you can replace the tyres or not. But in terms of actual engine upgrades, it's quite good. You can put turbos on it and anti-lag or whatever it's called, and so all the other engine bits. And the bodywork is quite good as well, although there is a bit annoying bit which I will tell you in a minute when I'll get to it. But yeah, in terms of the off-road vehicles, let's go see. Yeah, as you can see, you can only put the rally suspension on it, which is quite annoying. But then again, it's probably due to clipping and stuff like that. They don't want someone driving around in like a lowered version for some reason. It's quite annoying how they do that, but it's how life is, basically. I'd imagine they don't really want someone driving around in like a lowered version. Maybe it clips through the actual wheel arches or something. But in perhaps the most surprising news, there's no Forza wing on this. You can remove the wheels, but there's no like Forza wing. I don't know when they added that. Also, this part is quite annoying, that you cannot technically remove the sort of step without removing the doors. I don't actually know if those doors are like OEM spec or if they're like an option or something like that. They seem quite dangerous, but this is an American car, so basically it is dangerous. Yeah, in terms of the actual wing, there's no like Forza wing, which is surprising to me. I'm not entirely sure if they add that to these off-road sort of cars. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. Yeah, it just seems a bit weird, because I would have thought they'd have added like the Forza wing, or at least the Forza like sort of lip wing or something like that. But yeah, in terms of the actual tyres, there you go. You can't put on like drift tyres or race tyres, which is another weird reason. I don't know why again. And you can't, I don't know if you can, there's no like wheel spacers or anything, which is quite annoying to be honest. But you can put wheels on it. I didn't put any wheels eventually on this because it just looks weird in my opinion. Yeah, I could put them on if I wanted to. But yeah, it's quite, I don't understand why they do that. I'd imagine it's probably to stop people from like, I don't know, it's just a bit weird. I'd say it's to stop people from like putting race tyres on it and ruining the image of the vehicle. But you could paint this car pink and put loads of like weird stuff on it. So it's weird. So yeah, in terms of paint options, you get all the sort of, I'd imagine the OEM colours: silver, black, yellowy, orange. I'm not entirely sure if that's yellow or orange. Green, which I think is quite good, but I didn't choose. A sort of more Ford blue, if that makes sense, which, yeah, it's like the one on the Ford Focus, the RS Ford Focus, and white, which, if you know why white is significant for the Ford Bronco, you know. But yeah, I chose silver just because it looked nice. I probably should have chosen green, but yeah, now it's taken, for some reason this took a while to actually load. I don't know why. Normally it's quite quick. Maybe it's just lag or something. So in terms of actually driving it off-road, I found it quite good, although it might be because it's upgraded. It handles the sand dunes quite well. It might not be the best sort of car because it's not, the suspension isn't soft, I don't believe. It wasn't soft when I was driving it. It could have been better. I didn't tune it that much. But in terms of actual driving it off-road, it seems quite good. I didn't do any races in it, so it might not be that good in terms of the race, but it seemed to handle the jumps quite well, and it drove quite good in my opinion. It also is obviously going to be driving off-road quite good because it's an off-road car, or it's supposed to be an off-road car, and it seems to be rather quite good, handling quite good when fully upgraded, which is a bonus I suppose. Don't really want it driving into the trees or whatever. But I haven't actually used it in a race, so I can't say if it's like competitive or good in terms of racing. But overall, it's just good. It's just these type of cars are just the ones that you don't really use for racing. You just sort of own and mess around in. It's a similar thing with the other cars that they've added, the barn find sort of off-road car and stuff like that. I can't remember what it's called. The Chevy Blazer, I believe it is. Is it the Chevy Blazer? Or something like that. And like the trucks that they added, you can't really race those trucks, but you could off-road them. I suppose you could drift them or use them for drag, I suppose. But in terms of actual off-roading, like races, they're probably not the best. I should also point out that I did unlock the Manx 2.0, but the main reason why I haven't done it is because it's an electric vehicle and those are boring in my opinion. Not the action. It's not the issue is not so much that it's an electric vehicle. The issue is that it's just boring. You can't really do much with it, and you can't upgrade it, and you can't do much in terms of actual racing in it. It's not competitive or good. I will likely do a video on the issues with the electric vehicles at some point. I'm not entirely sure when. The issue isn't so much that they're electric, it's more that they're just sort of filler cars that serve no real purpose. Can't really upgrade them that much, and they're just sort of boring. The recent inclusion of the Manx 2.0 is probably a good example of this. I don't know anyone who actually requested it, and it seems pointless in this game. I don't think it's competitive. It might be, but I haven't checked really, and I at least haven't driven it, and from what I've seen online, people weren't even getting it, so I guess it's a rare car, but yeah, I don't think many people are interested in it. I'm certainly not. It's not really. The issue isn't so much it's electric. Again, it's more there's already a Manx in the game, and it's probably. I don't drive. I don't think I've ever really actually used it, except for maybe once or twice messing around. So here is the car mastery. It's quite good, I suppose. You can get Forza points and money back, but that's it really. It's not much. There's not anything special. You can't get super wheel spins or anything like that. You can also remove the roof, as you can see. This was available in the original Bronco as well. Also, something I've noticed, the windows are like, I don't know how to explain it. They're sort of like plasticky, weird. They're tinted, but they've got a matte finish. I don't know if this is like a texture glitch or if this is intended. Maybe it's an option on the Bronco or something. Maybe it's something to do with the roof. But for some reason, the windows are sort of like, they're sort of opaque. They're sort of like a matte finish. I suppose it could be like the actual Bronco roof is like has windows that are removable, so maybe they're like made out of plastic or something. That's something I noticed that would seem rather weird. Another car is coming out next week, which would be the Porsche, I believe from like the 1950s, with like weird wheel covers and stuff like that. I'm probably going to do a video on that, even though I believe it's returned from Forza Horizon 4. But I'll do a video on it anyway. But expect to see more videos like this soon, along with more videos in general. Hopefully talking about stuff like the electric vehicle issue in this game. Yeah, unless something horrific happens, like a shark attack, I suppose. UFO invasion, anything like that.